Till now, we have discussed how a country has to be assessed. It's not only the income, it has to be taken into consideration the infant mortality rate, the life expectancy in that particular region. In the same way, how is the public distribution system? For example, we have seen Punjab being at the top when it comes to the income, but when it comes to the infant mortality rate, the number of people, especially small infants, were 49. When it comes to Kerala, it's only 11. So, Kerala would be given more preference in ranking rather than that. So, the criteria, it's not only the income, the other facilities are also important. When it comes to Kerala, the public distribution system, the ration shops were also well maintained, so that even the low income group and the middle low income group people also can acquire certain amount of nutritious food provided at the subsidy levels by the government. So all these things will be adding for any region, any state, any country to be having healthy people and also better standard of living. They are also getting nutritious food. These are some of the important criteria. Now let us try to understand what is the criteria that is taken by the United Nations Development Program to categorize the countries, or what is the ranking that has been followed by UNDP, United Nations Development Program. So the combination of income, life expectancy, infant mortality rate, literacy rate, all together has been brought together under one umbrella, that is Human Development Index. The Human Development Index is the criteria that is being used by the United Nations Development Program to categorize the nations and their rankings. There are total 177 countries in this ranking system. In that ranking system, we also have list of some of the Asian countries falling in that one. Let us know about them now. See here, Sri Lanka, closely located to India, just a distance of 19 kilometers on the southeastern side, south exactly down to India. Now, the per capita income of Sri Lanka in US dollars is 4,390 rupees. It is 4,390 US dollars is the per head income of every individual in Sri Lanka. By dividing the total income of Sri Lanka by total population, we got this per capita income. It is really very high. Life expectancy, the number of years averagely expected from the birth to the death, is called life expectancy. How many years he may survive? It is 74 in Sri Lanka. Literacy rate, number of educated people per 100 people, 91 out of 100. And the Human Development Index ranking is 93 out of 177. The total number of countries in this category are 177. In that, Sri Lanka is on the 93rd rank, whereas India's per capita income in US dollars is 3,139. Well, life expectancy 64 years, 10 years less than Sri Lanka, $1,000 less than Sri Lanka. Literacy rate 30% less than Sri Lanka, 91 were in Sri Lanka, 61 in India. And in ranking also, India is a far ahead than Sri Lanka in ranking. In the reverse order, India is at 126th place out of 177. So Sri Lanka is more than 30 ranks ahead than India. And then Myanmar, a very small country, still struggling to establish democracy there. Aung San Suu Kyi fighting to get democracy in Myanmar. Let us see how is it in Myanmar. The per capita income is 1,027 US dollars, very very low. Then life expectancy is almost nearby to India, that is 61, whereas literacy rate is 90%, far ahead than India and very close to Sri Lanka. HDI ranking, Human Development Index ranking is 130, very close to Indian ranking. So it is not so astonishing. Moving to Pakistan. In Pakistan, the income is 2,225 per head, and their life expectancy also just 1 year shorter than India, that is 63, whereas literacy rate is very low, 50%, half, and ranking is 134 out of 177. Just 7 countries difference ranking is there between India and Pakistan. Well, Pakistan is far below than even Myanmar also. Well, in Nepal recently got democratic restoration. Recently they established the parliamentary supremacy and the monarchy was being changed into constitutional monarchy. So let us see here, the income is 1490 US dollars per capita income. 62 is the life expectancy. The number of literacy rate ratio is 50%. Well, in the ranking is 138. And moving on to last but not the least, Bangladesh. 1870 is the US per capita income in dollars for them, and life expectancy is very close, same like India, 63 years, and literacy rate is far low, only 41%, while the ranking is ahead than Nepal with 137. And now let us observe the statistics carefully. Sri Lanka is a very small country when compared to India. Sri Lanka is a country which has faced many internal issues. We have discussed in the previous class also that how Sri Lanka is having the policy of majoritarianism attitude, where the Sinhalas are trying to control the minority Tamilians. They have internal conflicts, they have civil wars, but still Sri Lanka is having good per capita income. Let us not take only per capita income as consideration, but let us also take the other factors. Let us see, life expectancy is far more when compared to any other country in the other Asian countries which are given for us. Literacy rate is also very high in Sri Lanka. Even the ranking also, they are far better than India. Nearly 33 rankings they are ahead than India. So it's not an easy thing. So India being a largest country among the Asian countries of the list which are given for us, and let us take in Myanmar also, they have literacy rate 90%, and even in the life expectancy also they are far ahead, nearby close to India's expectations, which means that India needs to achieve more targets and India is still lagging behind when it is compared to other countries, very small countries in comparative to area with India, but earning huge incomes of per capita income, and literacy rate is also almost very high than India in Sri Lanka and in Myanmar, and also we have rankings also very far better than India. We need to understand from the statistics that India still needs to achieve more in the fields of health and education, in the fields of ranking. Once the infrastructure improves, once the health facilities are provided more, automatically the ranking would improve. So UN has taken Human Development Index as a basic criteria to determine the rankings, and also to say that you needs to work on these particular fields so that your country can develop more, you can achieve more targets. And now the other fundamental question what we have now is sustainable development. What is sustainable development? Sustain, to remain, development, to develop, to remain and to develop. What has to remain and what has to develop? To remain in the sense the resources what we are using right now has to remain for the future generations also. Let us take water. Today we are consuming water, we are drinking water, we are using the water from the various sources, and especially the underground water resources. The underground water resources, from the past decade we are squeezing out the underground water resources at a very high rate when compared to the previous decades. See, underground water resources is a non-renewable resource. A non-renewable resource is a resource which is having a fixed stock available in the nature. Once the stock is emptied, then there is no further stock available for us. So we need to think on the alternatives. So underground water, when we are using, when our forefathers gave the planet to us, they gave it in a very healthy manner. In the same way, we also have to pass it to the next generations with giving them the natural share of the properties or the assets of the nature to them equally. If we utilize the entire underground water layers which are a fixed stock, which are non-renewable sources, then how can we expect the world will survive for the future? So underground water layers, let us take an example for that. If underground water layers are not used in a meticulously and in a well-mannered way, where it is used in a reasonable way so that you can save it naturally for the future generations. And if you are not utilizing it for the future generations, then definitely it will be an obstacle, and the future generation people would find it very difficult to find water. Let us also discuss one of the other examples of petrol.
If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel to get more videos on CBSE syllabus.